Google has responded to the overwhelming popularity of Zoom and the nearly universal unpopularity of Google Hangouts in the online meeting space by releasing their business class product, their Google Meet product, which just used to be for paid accounts. They've released that now to the general public. So we have three questions, do we not? First of all, how does Google Meet work? Secondly, is it any good? And third, how's it stack up to Zoom? Let's say we answer those three questions for you today on Dottotech. Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? And today, as promised, we're going to take a look at Google Meet, Google's business class business conferencing service that, until recently, was just available to paid subscribers of the G Suite product, but now has been rolled out to the rest of us normal folk. Now, Google is, of course, releasing this in direct response to the popularity of Zoom as a video conferencing tool. So we've got a lot of questions. First of all, how well does it work? Is it a good product? Because frankly, Google Hangouts, the free service that we used to use in place of Meet for most of us normal folk, it sucked. It was a terrible service. So how good is Google Meet? How does it work? How good is it? Is it worth using? Is it a viable alternative to Zoom? Those are the questions that we will have a look at today. So let us begin. Now, as is often the case with Google, there's a couple of different ways that you can get into using a tool, and we all aren't equal citizens as far as that's concerned. As Google rolls out access to Google Meet, some of us will find a Start a Meet meeting in our email bar on the side of our Gmail software. Hasn't happened to me yet, so I have to do it the old school way. I have to go to meet.google.com, but there, any of us with a Gmail account can start a premium video meeting, now free for everyone. Amen? Let's dive into it and have a look. So I suppose the best thing to do is to just start a meeting. You can also enter a meeting code here. If somebody has sent you an invitation, there will be a very complex code, almost like a password, that will allow you to join the meeting, and they've started right out of the gate with these complex meeting IDs to prevent, I guess they would call it, meet bombing as opposed to Zoom bombing. But when we go to start a meeting, it will then launch the service for us, and it will check out the resources on your computer, which I have actually found to be a little bit problematic as I have tested out this service. When you are in this window here, you can get everything set up for your meeting. You can start the meeting right now. You can start a presentation here. But for the most part, we should probably check and see what assets we are using to present our video and audio, because I have had some issues with this. So we go into settings, and in the settings, you will see your audio settings, your video settings, and your general settings. You want to set up which microphone you want to use, and I have several to choose from on my computer, which speakers you want to listen to, and again, I have several on my computer, and you can test them out here and make sure that everything is working properly. Similarly, you want to check to make sure that you've chosen the correct camera if you have multiple cameras set up to your system. And if you want to change the resolution, you can change the resolution. I would probably leave it at standard definition for the most part now because of bandwidth issues, but that's going to be your choice. If you've got phenomenal bandwidth where you are, you might try high definition. Let's jump in and start a meeting just on our own before we invite others to join us. Now, when we launch a meeting, we are given this copy adjoining info screen, which is an invite, an HTML link, a web link that people can click on. You can send it out by email so you can invite people to join your meeting. Do you remember that code that I said, enter the meeting code? That's this little cryptic code here at the very end of the URL. That's what people can type in to join the meeting. You could also invite people from your Gmail address book by clicking add people here. So there's a couple of different ways to add people to your meeting. And before we're done today, I will also show you how to use Google Calendar to schedule a meeting in the future. What I'm showing you right now is how to start an ad hoc meetings where you're just going to send out an email or send out a text message to people and inviting them in right away and having them join really quickly. So that's how you invite people into your meeting. And here we have our video screen, and as you can see, we've got a fairly stripped down management console. There's not a lot of places that you can click. It's nowhere near as many tools as we have within Zoom. And to be fair, Meet has less capacity, less capability than does Zoom. Here in the top, we see the people who are in our meeting. There's a basic chat window that will allow us to go to chat. And we can also see our own feed in a thumbnail view up at the top. Down at the bottom, this is where most of the activity is going to take place. If we go into our more options, we can change the layout, which I will show you in a moment. This is useful. They've just recently added this feature in response to the very popular gallery view, which is within Zoom. You know, that Brady Bunch view where you have multiple windows of people always open at the same time. But you can change your view, you can change your layout by clicking here, which will allow a variety of different views. Now, depending on how many people you have in your meeting, you might have one style of view which you favor. This is pretty convenient. Again, fairly basic, but it does give you the main controls of having a person automatically pop up when they're speaking, or being able to view everybody in this tiled view, or a spotlight view if you just want one person highlighted while everybody else is watching, more like a webinar. So you've got those options for the views. We also have in here the ability to go full screen on your own computer, so it dominates the entire screen, and they have other additional settings that you can go into which bring you back into your audio and video settings. And this is actually something that's important, I think, because an interesting thing happened to me, and it's done it again here. Even when I set my speakers to be the speakers that I normally use for all video conferencing, which is my display speakers here that are built into my display audio, it's defaulted back to the sound card, which is within my mixer. And I don't know why it did this. It did this several times when I was in the test meeting, which I'll be showing you in a few moments with my team. So if you don't hear the person that you expect to hear, or they can't hear you, rather than kind of make hand signals and panic, go down into here. This is go down into the settings and check that the proper resource has been allocated for the task. You have the proper microphone chosen, you have the proper speakers chosen, and you have the proper video camera chosen. Make sure that that's all correct. I guarantee you, you are going to have issues with this at some point in your Meet career. So that's there. Now, the other features that we see here along the bottom are the ability to turn on captions, which I will show you in a minute, and is pretty amazing, but also kind of scary. And we also have the ability to present now, which is the screen sharing options. This is where we can share our entire computer screen or one of our windows or a tab within our browser. Very basic screen sharing included within Google Meet, nothing too fancy, but it does cover the bare minimum, the kind of the minimum viable product of what you need for a tool like this. So I think that's pretty much all the options that we have. You can hang up on your call, you can turn on and off or mute your microphone or camera at this point. And that's really how it works. That's pretty much Google Meet. So let's dive in and take a look at the first meetings that we did using Google Meet with my team as we walk through some of the features in an actual video conference. Sadly, we discovered a slight issue after we recorded this demo, and that is the fact that the audio from my team doesn't get captured in the video file as I'm recording the screencast for us to demonstrate. And there is no recording function built into Meet, so this is going to have to be kind of a show and tell. So we started out by looking at the different view options within Google Meet and figuring out which layout I like best for conducting the meeting with my small team. Then I decided to test out the closed captioning. You can turn them on in the bottom, and you will see the closed captioning start to flow from the bottom as we are speaking. Now, you can't hear April and Liz as they're speaking, but you can see the closed captioning from them. When I speak, I'll bring up the volume again, and you'll be able to hear what I say, and you'll be able to see the delay before the closed captioning comes in. But I have to tell you, I was very impressed with the quality and the speed of the closed captioning, bearing in mind that I have a very neutral accent. We all of us on this call had a fairly neutral accent. I bet there'll be some really funny auto corrections as if you were reading it. It could end up being incredibly rude. Okay, now I'm recording. Oh, Yes, we did that. We went there. We tried a variety of different swear words, and I know that many of you, as soon as you test this out, you're going to see exactly what it is that they blank out as far as profanities and not. But here is the thing that caught my attention as we were testing this out: is I wonder about the how much trust we're going to have with the fact that Google is now capturing our text our conversations as text, which then they can later search on. If we look at the heart of what Google is, they're all about search. And this is just now another data type which they will in some way have the ability to be able to crawl through and determine our preferences, determine what we like, to basically farm information from us as we go along. But having said that, the technical capabilities of being able to add closed captioning on the fly to a meeting, very, very impressive. I went on to test out screen sharing, which is pretty much identical to what you would find in any other application. And there's not really much more to show as far as the features within Google Meet. Now, as it is a business meeting tool, being able to schedule a meeting is a really important part of using any of these tools. And as I promised you at the beginning of today's video, I will show you how you schedule a meeting, even if you don't see the meeting app in your Gmail at this point. And meetings can be created within Google Calendar. I'm going to just open and create a new calendar invite here, or a new calendar item and appointment. And when I create a brand new appointment in Google Calendar, if I look over here on the side, I have the ability to add Google Meet video conferencing. So I'm going to add a guest here. I'm just going to add Liz to this meeting and invite her into this meeting tomorrow. And now when I click on here, it generates a code that will allow up to 100 participants to join the meeting. And when this invite is sent out to anybody on this distribution list, they will be invited into the meeting, and we will see the meeting as a line item in the calendar invite as well. So everybody will get the login information automatically. This is actually pretty slick. I would say this is as slick as it gets as far as adding conferencing into Google Calendar. That is really where we have to stop the comparison between Meet and Zoom, because we have looked at all of the features that are built into Meet, and we can now compare them to Zoom. You have to recognize that Zoom has lots of features that we haven't compared to Meet because Zoom is a more capable tool. So I'm going to now cut to the chase. I'm going to give you my final summary. Is Google Meet the equal of Zoom? No, it's not as good an application. But can you use Google Meet and be just as productive as using Zoom? Yes, I think you can. If you have basic needs as far as meeting requirements goes, Google Meet can do and host a great meeting for you. Both of the products are free and offer good free service. Both of the products are relatively easy to use. If you live in the Google ecosystem, both the products integrate well. And if you live in the Microsoft ecosystem, both of the products integrate well as with the Apple system. So they're equal players as far as all of that is concerned. As far as the quality of the meeting, Zoom has an edge. But Zoom requires you to download an app, which I believe delivers a higher quality feed. The benefit of Google Meet is it's browser-based, and since it's coming from Google, it's in the Chrome browser, they might have some advantages there. But overall, my sense is the quality of Zoom meetings is a higher video and audio quality than is the quality of Google Meet meetings, but it's not a deal killer or a deal breaker, because the Google Meet meetings, as you saw, are perfectly usable. They were good as far as the quality is concerned. Now, as far as security and privacy goes, I believe that they're pretty equal as far as what they're offering. But this will be a point of contention, and I know we will see lots of comments of people who are in the anti-Zoom camp, and they think Zoom is a real security risk to anybody living in North America, and that is your opinion, and you're certainly welcome to it. And I know you will be sharing it with us in comments, and I love to see those comments. But recognize that there's an equal number of people, and we will probably see an equal number of comments of people concerned with trusting Google. You are trusting one company or the other. You can, neither one of them, as far as I'm concerned, has shown that they are exemplary as far as earning our trust. So you're basically dancing with the one devil or dancing with the other devil by using either of these free services. App versus app, as far as mobility is concerned, they are pretty much of a muchness. They are very, very equal. And let's talk about support for a moment, shall we? And as far as I'm concerned, Google support is non-existent. And as far as most of you are concerned, from what I'm reading in the comments, the free version of Zoom, the support is pretty much the equal of Google support. In the free version, it's pretty much non-existent, although the paid users in both platforms can expect a certain level of support. But don't expect exemplary support from either of these providers. Google is playing catch up with their services. So we should be seeing additional features rolling out in Meet over time. And a lot of the shortcomings that I've talked about within this video probably will be addressed over time. But they've got a long way to go to catch up to the features and benefits in this and just the mature product that is Zoom. That's it. I hope that you found the video today to be useful. I am really looking forward to the comments and sharing that you have. And in reading the comments that you share with me will inform me to help me produce more videos in the future for you. So let me know what you want to see. Now, if you have found this valuable, I have a couple of favors to ask. First of all, please give us a like and share this video with others who need to learn more about this topic. And while you're at it, if you've not yet subscribed to this channel, what the heck are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I will see you next time here on Dotto Tech. Till then, I'm Steve Dotto. Have fun storming a castle.